How's it going? It's Kevin Kenny, and welcome to a brand new edition of the Build series. I am very excited for you to meet our guest today. You don't typically hear R&B and country put together when describing an artist, but this gentleman blends those two genres and does it quite well. Can we please give a warm Build welcome to Willie Jones? Joining us now live in the Build studio, Mr. Willie Jones.
Hey, how y'all doing? What's going on, man?
What's going on, dude?
Chilling, enjoying New York.
Yeah, your music somewhat fits September somehow. It almost feels like summer dusk, which I think is like a nice vibe of September.
I like that.
But even just listening to Windows Down earlier, like it kind of fits this time of year, early fall.
Yeah, man.
There it is.
There it is. There it is.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna fanboy just a little bit. I was telling you in the back. I'm grateful for artists like you, because I talk to a lot of artists here, and I think it's so easy to do the easy thing and just make music that you've heard before, or try to be an impressionist, or sound like an idol, and that's all great if you have an inspiration, but I think it's extra special when you're actually trying to trailblaze your own path, right? And you are taking the best of R&B, some hip-hop sensibilities too, we'll get into, and then sonically a lot of country music. So where does that desire come from? Why not take the easy road?
Well, it really just, for me, is something that I feel like just comes naturally. I got in the country when I was like 14 years old. I remember my voice just dropped. I woke up one day and I was like, yeah, what's going on? It's Willie Jones. And it was just hard for me to sing pop and R&B and the stuff I really liked without, I had to just drop it down, and it just wasn't the same. So I got into country music, and I fell in love with just the how they use live instruments, the stories they tell, and I was already influenced by pop and R&B, so it was just something that just kind of formed into what we have now.
Totally. I was gonna say you could have gone country, or if it was like the '90s, you could have been that one guy in the R&B group that would like talk over the track.
Hey girl, I miss you, baby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's fascinating though, Willie, because it sounds like your own desire to be a musician and a vocalist drew you to the genre. Is that true? Yeah. So I mean, that's interesting. It wasn't necessarily that you were a fan of it, but you were naturally drawn to it because of your own voice.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, my voice literally, it just changed. And I remember I was like stressed out. I was like, what am I gonna do? I remember I was sad one day, and one of my music teachers came up to me, and she just like gave me a talk, and she was like, you good, man. You got a special voice, and just use it. God bless you with it, so just use it. So yeah, my voice definitely drew me to the music, which is, I've never really thought about it like that, even though I explain it all the time, but yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Were your friends like socially listening to country at the time, or was this like your own thing?
I mean, I grew up in the South, so of course, a lot of people listen to country music, but like the circle that I was hanging with was not listening to country at all. But it's cool because I feel like I definitely opened them up to the genre, so they have like their favorite songs now, and they check out other artists. So yeah, I feel like I'm kind of like a gateway to people who don't listen to country.
Oh yeah.
To want to explore it a little bit.
Yeah, and a gateway not just to your friends, I assume, but for all your fans around the world that are
man. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really cool. I get a lot of people who tell me they don't listen to country, but they'll listen to my music, and then they'll hit me up and be like, now I listen to Keith Urban, and now I listen to this person and that person. So yeah.
Yeah. Now, I want to get back to square one with you, because what's exciting, you've never been on Build before, so we can kind of tell your backstory. Now, you're born in Louisiana, right?
Shreveport, Louisiana.
There you go.
318.
Is that Britney Spears' hometown?
No, I think she's from Lafayette, which is like further south.
All right. How far outside is Shreveport from New Orleans?
That's like 5 hours. I'm in the north.
Really?
Yeah, I'm in North Louisiana. I'm up in the corner. It's like you can drive to Texas in like 30 minutes. Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay. Because I thought of New Orleans when I was reading about you, because I was lucky enough to spend a week down there and really learn about the culture, and that's such a melting pot sonically, and it made me think of you and how your sound is kind of a blending of genres. How does the New Orleans influence, does it reach you where you are, or are you more influenced maybe by Texas? You just said you were close by.
I mean, Shreveport is pretty a pretty musical place. It has a history for having, it's this venue called, what's the name of it? The Municipal Auditorium. And they used to have a thing called The Louisiana Hayride. So this was like in the 50s, and like Elvis used to come through and play. At one point, Johnny Cash, like when they were starting out. This was before they went to Nashville. They would come through to Shreveport, and some stuff happened, and then everybody was like, "Well, we're going to Nashville," and then Nashville accepted it. But yeah, Shreveport. It's a lot of people who come out of Shreveport. It's a really dope city, and I'm happy that I'm from there. Straight up.
Hometown pride, I dig it.
Hometown pride.
So if you discover country music really at 14, what type of music is your first love as a child?
As a kid, gospel.
Oh,
I would listen to Kurt Franklin, gospel, Karen Clark Sheard. That's all. My mom didn't let us listen to R&B and stuff. Like, we would have to sneak and listen to it. And then we started listening to it around her when I was like 10.
Okay.
But yeah, gospel music, just the power behind the voices and just the faith connected to it. Yeah, gospel music.
Do you ever find yourself trying to channel that love of gospel or things that you used to love about gospel music into the stuff you do now?
I think it's just something that naturally just flows out of me. I think my voice definitely has some soul and grit, and I feel like that comes from the gospel influence. So I think it just naturally flows out. I don't think it's something that I just try to reach for. I think it just happens.
Yeah, it's naturally. It's organic.
Yeah, it's organic. Yeah,
totally. Now you were on XFactor, I understand.
I was.
All right. Now we've had people on the show before. Jordan Smith is somebody who won The Voice a number of years ago. He was on recently, and I was like, "How'd you get on that show?" Because it's a natural question. You probably get asked it all the time. He struck me because he was like, "No, I only wanted to be on The Voice. I didn't want to be on Idol. I didn't want to be on XFactor. I was only The Voice." Did you have that relationship with XFactor, or how'd that come about?
I didn't even want to do it, to be honest. It was crazy because, like, they had auditions in the mall in Shreveport, right? And one of my friends, she was calling me that morning. It was like a Saturday. I was sleeping in, had a party probably the night before. It was like my senior year, end of the school year. And she called me and was like, "Yo, they're having auditions for X Factor in the mall. You should go." And I was like, "Yeah, all right, bye, I'm asleep, bye." And then she called me back and was like, "Yo, are you getting ready? You about to head down there?" And I was like, yeah. All right, bye. Went back to sleep. And then I guess she called my mom, and then my mom called me and was like, "Boy, you better get your butt up out of bed and go audition for the..." And so I was like, all right, cool. And growing up, I always watched those shows, but I never really had the desire to do it because I was like, what are the chances of me getting on? Like, it wasn't that I was doubting myself, but it was just like, yeah, like a billion people audition for these shows. Why would I get on it, So I went to the mall, and it was like they had the first 100 people. They accepted the first 100 people. I was like number 95. Yeah, and I got up there, and I sang, and the audience went kind of crazy. And then they flew me out to audition. And they call it cattle call. You like wait in line and all that, but I got a cut in line pass. Made it to the executive producers, made it on the show, and yeah, that's how I was like introduced to the world.
That must be such a unique experience, especially as a young person. When you look back now, what is the greatest learning experience you got from just that whole experience?
Man, I mean, one thing when I got kicked off the show was just, I remember all the judges telling me, and this was really cool coming from like Simon Cowell, Britney Spears, Demi Lovato, L.A. Reid, just don't give up, just keep going, And I was kind of discouraged when I got kicked off the show because I was like, my dreams are over.
Did you really? I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Did you think it was all over?
I low-key did because I knew, like, going into the show, like, I didn't put, like I said, I didn't put that much pressure on myself. Like, even when I auditioned, I was just like, if I make it, I make it. If not, cool. But then I just started getting further and further, and I was like, oh, I might have a chance. And then, like, once I, like, made it to the live shows, I was like, I'm going to win. I was like, I'm going to win this. I, like, made it up in my mind. And then I got sent home that first live show, and I was like, nah. But, yeah, I was kind of hurt, for, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was devastated for a little while, like a week or so. I was like, fuck. But, yeah, I never give up, man. They told me not to give up, and I haven't. And I'm here right now on the build, chilling with y'all. So
Absolutely.
It's cool.
Was there anybody close to you in your life that kind of like got you through that little doubtful moment there?
Oh, my family, for sure.
Yeah.
I got two sisters, Chelsea and Sanaya, and my dad, my mom. We all really close. So they definitely would just, lift me. I remember they would take me out to eat Chinese and stuff when I was like, man, this is whack. But, yeah, my family definitely just always lift me up. Even now to this day, it's like my sister texted me all day like, I'm so proud of you. But, yeah.
I'm sure they're watching.
Yeah.
Are these big sisters, little sisters?
I'm the middle child, so I have a little
Okay.
sister. She's 17, and my older sister is 27.
Nice, man. I want to get into this mixtape, this EP you dropped, Road Waves here. I match sort of the album artwork, which
dope.
I dig.
Yeah,
I planned that.
You do, dope.
But yeah, let's talk about the album artwork. It's kind of a stunning photograph.
Yeah, man. So, it's called Road Waves, and being from Louisiana, the dirty South, the red dirt, and then coming out to California represents the waves and just the transition. Because I've moved to California like a year and a couple months ago, and I created this in the time I was there, and it was just like the two roads meeting, the two different lifestyles meeting. Same thing with the music, with the genre of the music. It's like the country with the R&B, with the hip hop, and it's just like a fusion of them both. So we got Road Waves.
Now, you went the acoustic route, which struck me. I love the sound of the record. But you think this was released over the summer. You think it's summertime is sort of like the time to drop the dance remix and get everybody moving on the dance floor. Warm weather, good vibes kind of thing.
Yeah.
You went the other direction, though. You stripped things back. Why was that?
Just because I wanted to, just because I wanted to. It wasn't really too much behind it. I mean, and I'm gonna release some of the songs with full track, full production. But yeah, just wanted to, give them a little intro, a little something that just they can taste on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I dig that though, because we get to actually meet you when it's stripped back like that. Sometimes you hear a
you can hear the
single
voice,
and you're like, I mean, the drums sound great. I can't really hear what they're saying, but I guess I like this artist.
Oh yeah.
You walk away from this a Willie fan.
Yeah, and it's definitely not completely stripped down. There still is some production aspects in it, but yeah, you get to hear my voice and you get to hear the stories I want to tell. I think it was a great intro for people to hear my original music.
Yeah, it's how many tracks are on it?
5.
5. I was gonna say, so it's rather short, but it's very eclectic. You have a song like "Where Were You?"
Where Were You? Yeah.
Which I love that song, and there's a lot of hip hop sensibilities in that. And then you match it with the country music. I've talked about this a little bit before, but I'm just curious to dive more into that. Like, where does the hip hop influence today come from? Like, are you listening to a lot of hip hop in your spare time?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of hip hop, a lot of R&B, just a lot of different types of music I listen to. So I think same thing. I think it's just something that just organically just comes out of me.
Right.
I can freestyle too.
Can you?
Bars.
Do you have anything right now? We are in New York City, the birthplace of hip hop.
You right. Oh, I forgot I'm in New York. Oh no. Give me a beat.
Can anybody beatbox? Do we have an instrumental like on deck? All right, we'll come back to that. If you guys have some, let us know back there.
Jamie was like, "Oh God, he about to embarrass himself."
All right, well, while we look for instrumental, maybe I want to dive into another song on here that I think is actually really refreshing because you write it, you made it from a very vulnerable place. It's called Lost.
Yeah.
Can you kind of tell us first what that song is about in case you haven't heard it at home?
Yeah.
And then also, where were you in your life when you wrote that song?
Okay, so Lost. I mean, wait, which you said Lost or?
Yeah, Lost.
Oh yeah, Lost. Lost is a song about meeting a girl and just being lost for words. And at the time I was trying to talk to this girl and I was just always really awkward when I was around her. And that song just came out of there, just literally just coming from a place of just being lost for words. It's like I run out of words when you walk in, like I don't know what to say, sometimes, people can have that effect on you, so it was just it really came from just me being awkward as hell. Yeah.
Is that rare for Willie? Are you usually like a smooth operator?
As of late, I've learned, I got game.
I love the honesty, man. So looking down the road here, we got the acoustic EP, of course. A lot of people naturally going to ask about, is there a full length coming? Is that something important to you, though? Because that's kind of like a new question. Is like, why release an album? Maybe you do and you want to put it together body work. I don't think you necessarily have to.
Yeah, for
What are
sure.
your feelings about all that?
I mean, I definitely want to put together a body of work. I stopped buying CD. Well, I still bought CDs up until like 2015. I had a CD book.
No way.
Yeah, straight up.
Are you just old school like that, or what's that?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I like especially if it's an artist that I really like and I want to support. I like looking through the book and like seeing the photos that they take and like the album art and just a body of work is just like when an artist has a theme and stuff, it's just like you actually took time to put together a package and like deliver it as a thing that, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been working on a full length, just been in the studio with a lot of different producers. I've been working really closely with Sean Cook. He produced this whole shebang right here.
Oh, wow.
Really talented dude. Shout out to Sean. And yeah, full length definitely one day for sure.
When you're thinking about like who to work with on your projects, like do you lean more towards like producers that have a resume in country, producers in pop, producers in hip hop, R&B? Like how does that work?
I like to mix it up, man.
Yeah.
I like to mix it up. I've worked with some hip hop producers who just make beats, but you know they'll try to do the country thing and it works out. You know, and then I was just in Nashville a couple weeks ago working with some producers and writers, and I think it's really cool getting to do that because just my background in music and my influences and theirs and just like the two just meeting, it just works. It's really cool. It's really dope. Like in Nashville, we wrote some fire.
Yeah, I mean that's the town to do it in. You like Nashville?
Yeah, I love Nashville. Nashville's dope. I love the South too. I'm from Louisiana, so being in California is just a different vibe. So being in Nashville, meeting them country girls, yeah, it's cool.
He's got game. He told us. You got to explain something to me because I've read about this thing, and I'm going to sound like a grandpa when I say this, but you toured with MadCon.
Yes.
Okay, what is MadCon? Because I know this is like very popular, I think, on YouTube and social media.
Yeah.
What is MadCon?
So MadCon stands for...
I'll join you.
Yeah, right. MadCon stands for Meet and Greet Convention, and it was pretty much just a tour of social media influencers who have like millions and millions and thousands and millions and billions of followers. And they just put a group of people together to go around and meet their fans and stuff like that. So we would travel to Europe and we did Puerto Rico. We did like a lot of different places. Yeah, we did all over the States. But I was added onto the tour as entertainment because, nice. I mean, a lot of the influencers, they didn't sing, but they influenced. So I would do entertainment. So while they're doing the meet and greet, I would be on stage.
While they're influencing.
Yeah, while they're influencing, I'm on stage, rocking the mic, spreading love through the music.
That's awesome. I think Cameron Dallas is a part of that, right?
Yeah, Cameron's the homie.
Now he just signed, I think, with Columbia Records, and he's like doing the music thing now.
I think Republic or
Republic maybe.
Yeah,
okay, Don't quote me on the label.
Yeah.
But he's doing the music thing now, it seems, or venturing that way. And then of course I think he models,
yeah.
maybe acts. Are you somebody that wants to do more than just music, or are you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I just shot my first short film. I'm expecting it to be cool, but yeah, I definitely want to dibble and dabble in acting a bit more and whatever else, voiceover. But right now, I'm focused on the music.
Yeah, totally. What's the short film about? This sounds exciting.
It's called Open Mic, and it's pretty much about this guy who's just going through a hard time, dealing with his identity and stuff like that. And he meets a musician named Nathan. That's who I play. He meets a musician, and just a really nice dude. And Mike is just like really judgmental towards Nathan because Nathan is just like a really nice guy, and he's like trying to help him. And yeah, it's a cool story. My character was really cool, and I related to him so much. So I was happy that was like my first acting role that I've like done, you know.
Yeah, it's huge, man. Is that going to be available digitally, or where can we find that?
I'm sure they'll probably do some festivals and stuff whenever it drops. I don't know how long it takes for these things to happen.
Like a totally different world.
Yeah. But one day it'll be out, and I'm sure I'll let y'all know about it.
Yeah, definitely. Any like shows coming up or anything like that? Or are you just focused on kind of recording right now? You're in that mode?
Yeah, we just recording. I got some spot dates. I'm hitting up Seattle in a couple weeks and heading back to Nashville to do some stuff. I'm sure I'll be performing out in LA. But yeah, right now I'm really focused on the music. Tour one of these days. By the end of the year, I'll be on some.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's turn it over to the audience. We've got a couple questions here to get to. First is right here.
Hi, Willie.
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing
good.
good.
Firstly, your music is great.
Thank
I love
you.
your music.
Thank you.
With the unique path that you have chosen with this particular type of music is amazing. This is something I grew up on also. What kind of advice would you give like upcoming musicians like myself on how to stick to your dreams and not, just go through with the populist kind of music?
Yeah, I mean, just stick to it. Just don't, literally, like I said earlier, just don't give up. And if you know you got something in your heart that you want to get out, and you know, do it. You know what I'm saying? It can be hard sometimes because you get in your own head and you make up stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're your own worst enemy sometimes. So you just gotta get over it. You know what I'm saying? Get in there and get over those fears and just do it. You can do it.
Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you so
Great
much.
question.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, we got time for a couple more and then a surprise at the end, Willie. Just be prepared.
Okay, cool.
Let's get to our next one right here.
Hi, I was just wondering, what is your writing process like? Do you write it all at once, or do you kind of write a little over the course of different sessions?
Yeah. So it usually is different sessions sometimes. Sometimes I'll write a song in a day, but how I like to write is, my boy Sean will make a beat or something, or he'll start a progression, and then I like getting on the mic and just doing melodies. So I won't even, sometimes it'll be words in there, but it's kind of I'm just mumbling and then I'll go back and fill in the words and come up with the story and then finish it out.
Awesome. All right, time for one more studio audience question. It'll come from right over here.
Hi.
What's going on?
I was wondering, out of the many venues that you played from all of your travels, what was the number one place that you performed at?
When I was on MadCon, we did Munich, Germany. I forget the name of the venue, but it was crazy because it was like 2,500 people there, and they were just going crazy. And it was just a big space, and it was confetti. And shit. It was just dope. But I performed in a couple really, really cool venues. But I remember Munich, Germany being the shizzle.
I love that. All right, now for the big surprise. You did say you could freestyle, right?
Oh, God.
We don't have an instrumental, but we do have a live guitar. Give it a round of applause,
let's
guys.
get it.
See what we got.
What you got? What you got? Give me some. Oh, no. Give me some I know. Runs in our blood. Yeah. Yeah. Me and my fam go ham, go hard in the paint. We laugh, we party, we drink. That's my kin, my friends. I'll love them till the end, cause life passes by in a blink. Yeah, front porch chillin', backyard grillin', loaded blind smoking, round and round rolling. Listening to the radio with nowhere to go, wishing we would never grow old. Time flies when you're having fun. Growing up, but we're still young. Our blood runs thicker than mud. Let it ride away, you just cuz. We turn up until the sun goes down. We've grown up, but we still run this town. Never die, feel forever young. Cause my fam knows I got love, and it runs in our blood. Runs in our blood, hey, runs in our blood, yeah, runs in our blood, it runs in our blood.
Willie Jones, everybody.
Hey.
That is a trooper, an impromptu
Hey.
performance of a great song. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry I let y'all down with that freestyle. Yeah, shout out to my boy Sean Cook,
There you go, the producer of this
producer
EP right here. I love that.
extraordinaire, man.
Thanks for doing that, Sean.
This dude is the future.
I love it, man. It sounds very good.
Straight up.
All right, well, we're unfortunately out of time, but Road Waves, the EP, the mixtape, whatever you want to call it, it's out, and you can go stream it right now. One more time, guys, for Willie Jones.
Thank y'all.